This video is sponsored by the Eerie Creator Network. Thank you to Eerie for sponsoring this video. With the new Life and Death pack, I have been challenged by Grim to complete a bucket list. Grim has set me 5 challenges, and today he wants me to build an apartment fit for him. Hello my little storm clouds, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you are new here. Today we are building an apartment for Grim, and did this apartment look more like a house on top of an apartment building? Maybe it did, but I feel like Grim is pretty bougie, so we're gonna go with it. So I went for a really gothic style for this. I just felt like that suited Grim really well, and like I said, I think he's pretty bougie, so this is pretty bougie. He has a pool up here, not that he uses it, but there is a pool up there and it is red. So I was trying to find some inspiration for gothic themed apartments, and a lot of them were normal on the outside and people were just doing gothic themed on the inside. So I was struggling a little bit. I kept seeing more houses just because gothic architecture does tend to work better with a house because of the shapes. There was a lot of turrets and bays and bits that stick out, and the roofing is always a little bit different as well. It's not your standard roofing. So I created a penthouse on top of this building for Grim instead of just a standard apartment, because like I said, I think he's pretty bougie, and by now I think he's pretty well off, since I don't know how old Grim is, but I have a feeling he's pretty old. And this apartment is black on black on black. Everything is black in it, with really small hints of this reddy purple colour brought in with rugs and a few flowers around the place. I decided to do 2 bedrooms. We have Grim's bedroom, and I also did a second bedroom since, you know, Grim does have a son. We have Neon Spectre. So just in case he wants to visit, we do have a little guest bedroom. And I used a lot of Castle Estate kit alongside the Life and Death for this build, and they just work really well together for a gothic look. So it took me quite a lot of time to get the shape that I wanted, especially because once I started building on the inside, I felt like I needed more room for some areas. So the little bay window at the front, I actually ended up making that bigger because I wanted to make this the living area, and I didn't want it to be jutting into where I did the formal dining room. And you can see I've got a lot of bays and turrets around it. I also decided to create a room on the left hand side that just has a bath in it, and it's decorated with like candles and flowers near towards the end, and it's fully glass windows so Grim can bathe and look out at the city below. I mean, who wouldn't want that, other than the fact that there is apartment buildings around this and they could see into the building. But if you've seen Grim bathe, he does bathe in his entire outfit, so he doesn't really need privacy. But I did add some of those sheer curtains around the place so they can be closed to add a little bit of privacy. Since this is an apartment, I did have to add an elevator in here, and I decided to not have it come directly into the apartment. I did it so there's a little hallway, so if somebody came up, they wouldn't just be able to access the house. There was a little hallway between that. And there's only one way in, but there is another door that leads out onto a little balcony, and it's just a balcony, and there's a hot tub on there. Because why not? I want a hot tub. I mean, Grim wants a hot tub. I didn't move my sim self in with him or anything. So I absolutely adore these new doors from the Life and Death pack. They are so beautiful. The ones with the rounded edge, and they do come in the medium wall height for these ones. So I did use those because I wanted this to be quite grand and luxurious. I did do tall wall height because I just think that screams grand and luxurious to me. So I did end up adding a fence all the way around the edge. This fence is so stunning. I mean, I don't think Grim would like to have this fence here. You know, if he's got guests over, he most probably would prefer if they went there so he can reap their souls maybe. Who knows? And like I said, I had to add a pool, and I wanted this to be black as well. So I did the black tiles on the sides and the flooring, but the water wasn't dark enough for me. So I was looking through the different water options, and there is a red water option, and I was like, that is perfect as a little touch. So I did make the water red for this in the end. Again, this pool might not be here for Grim, but it could be here for other reasons for Grim. I feel like Grim's house would have some death traps in it for Sims that want to come to his house as a guest that is maybe invited for reaping. So I'm almost done with the exterior. I do make some slight adjustments as I'm building the interior because I just can't fit things in quite how I want it. So I drag and pull things as I'm going along. I always do this when I am doing my interior. I'm really bad when it comes to shell challenges because I just want to move the walls. I'm like, I need to move the walls because I just want to fit this exactly in there, and it just one tile over it would be great. So yeah, I'm really bad at shell challenges, but when I'm doing my own builds, it's fine. I can pull and choose whatever walls I want. I just had to use a double wide staircase, but I didn't want to go straight up with it, so I did corner it a little bit. I do think when I add the kitchen in, I do turn the stairs again, so it goes up to a platform, and you go across, and then you go up. And the reason I did this is because I wanted the door to the bathroom to not be obstructed, and I also added another bathroom as you go under the stairs, because the bathroom that only has the bath in, so I wanted to create a bathroom that had a shower as well as a toilet and a sink. So I do have that under the stairs. Otherwise there wouldn't have been a bathroom on this floor, and in The Sims I really enjoy putting bathrooms on every single floor. It just makes it a lot easier with gameplay, so your sim doesn't have to go up and down the stairs. So you can see here I am adding curtains to here. They are sheer, so they're not adding any privacy at all. I say that, but I have sheer curtains here, and people seeing in, you can't really see in, but I can see out. I think it's because of the distance, I'm close to them. So we're gonna go with that. You can see out through them, but people can't see in. Moving on to the kitchen, I did decide to do a double oven. Again, we're bougie. We've most probably got chefs, because I don't think Grim's cooking. He's definitely getting people to cook for him. So I decided to do a double oven. It's a fairly large kitchen, not massive. And I did decide to have it open in a way. So it's like closed in, but we've used a spandrel and a half wall. So you can see through that into what is going to be the formal dining room. So I think the formal dining room might actually be my favourite room. The formal dining room is not really a room because it comes in from the entrance area, goes all the way through into the stairs area. It's like one open room. There's also like a reading nook area I wanted to add in. But I just love the way that I set the table. I'm not normally that proud of my small decorations, but I really focused on this and added a lot of flowers, and I added candles, and I think I ended up looking pretty nice. And I ended up using this trick that I've used before above ovens. To create that more old style oven, you use a fireplace and you have to size it down once or it's not functional. I did play test this, it totally functions. So you size it down once and then you raise it up so it looks like it's a big like hob thing that's like set in there, a bit like a pizza oven in a way, like the old style pizza ovens. And I really love doing this. It just adds a little bit of extra detail, and I think it can look really pretty. I really like using the one from Cottage Living. That one looks super beautiful, but this one worked really well for in here since we've got the skulls tied in with other things as well. So I'm moving around quite a lot at the minute. That is because I'm trying to work out the floor plan, because I really wanted that formal dining area in front of that kitchen. But I only had limited space for the living area, so you will see that I do extend this very soon. And then you'll see that I put a rug down in one of the little bay window areas. That is going to be a little breakfast nook area, or just like a normal dining area. So in this little corner over here, I decided to do a little reading nook area. We have 2 comfy chairs as well as a couple of bookcases. I do change where the bookcase is. I have it on the left hand side at the minute. I move 2 onto the right, and I ended up putting a desk in this area where I had the bookcase originally. I just felt like it fit a little bit more and I wanted a desk in here, and I didn't want to put a desk upstairs in Grim's room. I just feel like he'd want his workspace separate from his living area, so we did do those separate. For the formal dining area, I went for this gorgeous table. It is a glass table and it has a nice pattern through it. And what I did is I put some candles down, and then I used these flowers and placed them on the table. And then I used some candles from Debug that are from Eco Lifestyle. You can set the burn time on them so they are different heights. So I got loads of them out, and then I had to go into live mode and set burn heights to different heights. You can have like mostly burned, some burned, half burned. And I think just having those different burn heights give it that creepy, hauntingly feel. And I placed those on the table. I did the placing where you place it under the table and raise it up, so you can be more precise with your placement instead of them snapping to the table. And the table is still fully functional like this. I spruced up the entryway a little bit just by putting a little table there and adding a flower on the top. And you can see there is a door here to the right. That is the door that leads out onto the balcony area and the swimming pool. I then added a room on the back, which is the bathroom that is under the stairs area, because I hadn't added it in yet. And you will see there is a little gap between that and the wall, and that is where the hot tub ends up going. What I also ended up doing, you might have seen it just there, is I used the fog machines from the Party Essential kit, and I've placed these all around, hidden in the walls and hidden in objects, because I wanted Grim's apartment to be permanently have like a fog to it. So it's like eerie, like he has his like black smoke that is around the base of him. So it's like that, but for his entire apartment. So I've done this on the upper level as well as the main level. So you can see here, I've just expanded this area. This is because I really needed the living room to be a bigger area. And I really like the idea of having the wall right to the edge, giving it that more apartment feel. And I wanted to try and blend the apartment underneath into the apartment that we're doing on top. So I ended up using shelves along this front side just to blend it in a little bit better. It's not perfect because the apartment's not quite the same aesthetic, but I'm saying it works for now. Moving on to the living room, I've kept it sort of modern gothic with this. I really wanted to use that marble shelf thing, well, cabinet. So I did go ahead and add that, but then I still use the chimney that is from Life and Death, and I end up using archways instead of the spandrels because I wanted it to be a little bit more closed in. And because I'm using a lot of candlelight, it's not super bright. So what I ended up doing to make it a little bit brighter so you can actually see is use the saucer lights and just placing that inside of the lights that I've put up. Because they're so small, you can hide them in the base of lights and you can't see them, but it will light up a lot better than any of the candle lights will. I decided to do a lot of the bathrooms off camera other than the main big bathroom, which is open. And that is because they are quite small, and with the camera, with filming, it was not fun for you to watch with me trying to like move around. And because I wanted the walls up so I could see where I was placing things. So I ended up just cutting that out. And now I'm just adding some small details downstairs as finishing touches before we move upstairs. Like adding some vines on this. Again, I wanted to add a touch of red. So I ended up using these vines from the vampire pack with the red swatch. And I just think it just adds something to this build because it is very dark, and adding those red features in, again with the little planters that I've got going around the place, just adds a little bit of colour without being too much. For the upstairs, I did add this like book thing with candles around it. I don't know exactly what it's for, but I did find it in Debug. I just thought it was so beautiful and it suited this house so well. And I did use the raven, or I don't know what it is, it's like a bull to like reap souls or something like that. Again, don't really do gameplay. I will have to play around with that a little bit more, but I've also added that in since it is something that Grim would use. I did want to place them in here. And the first bedroom as you come up is Grim's room when you look up and straight ahead, and we've done Nion's room to the left hand side as you walk down the hall. Nion's room I've done a little bit more modern. It is still very black, but I wanted to keep it more modern. So I used the life and death stuff still, but I used the more modern aspects of it. I really like that there is two styles. There is more of that vintage style and there is more of that modern luxurious style. So adding them both in I thought worked really well. I also ended up changing the roof that was above the bath. That is like at the end of the hall. I was using a glass roof and I decided I wanted to make it a balcony. I just felt like that was a bit more apartment like. So I do add a door at the end of the hall that goes out onto this balcony area on top of the single bathroom. So this here is Nion's room, or just a guest bedroom, whatever you want it to be. But in my head, I like to make stories for my builds, so it is Nion's room. If you don't know who Nion is, it is basically Nervous Subject, and I've created it just across from Grim's room, and like I said, I made it a little bit more modern than Grim's room. I just feel like he has a bit more of a modern edge to him. I did give him an ensuite as well, so Grim and Nion both have ensuites. I also did a little living area that leads out onto a balcony as well, just because I had a little bit of extra room and I thought it'd be cute to just have a little area up here. And as always, right at the end, I'm just adding some final details in, adding stuff to tables, making sure I've got rugs, adding some more lights. And I added more fog machines up here because I'd only done the bottom floor at this point. And like I said, I really wanted to do this around the bath, adding a lot of flowers and again adding those eco lifestyle candles with different burn heights around the bath. I did place it all the way around the bath at first and I didn't think it would work, but I did check and it didn't work. So I did end up leaving a gap just at the front so your Sims still can access this. And that is my first bucket list item complete. Let's look at the entire build.